So from the previous video, note that subset is used to compare two sets: less than, greater than, less or equal to, greater than or equal to is used to compare two numbers. That is, when you have A as a set and you have B as a set, A is a subset of B, 2 is less than 3. So that is how to use these two in different times. So what is interval? The most common subset of real number, or an interval, is the part of real line between 2 points, include or excluded. That is, remember that real line or real number can be represented as positive. Here is negative number, the middle is 0, here is 1, 2, 3. This side are negative numbers, here is minus 3. This is what we call real number or number line. So if we pick from here to here, this is minus 1, 1. This is how to represent. This is a subset of real number, because A equals to minus 1, 1 is an interval or is a set. Call it an open set. Is a set and is a subset of real number. So name it as A minus 1 to 1, the subset of real number. You cannot represent it as minus 1, 1, because this is a different thing. Between minus 1 and 1, there is no any number between them. But this interval, we call it an interval because between minus 1 to 1, there are a lot of fraction, there are a lot of rational numbers, a lot of irrational numbers between minus 1 to 1. So because it cannot be least, even from 1 to 0.5, a lot of rational numbers and irrational numbers are there. So to represent minus 1 to 1 in real number as a set, this is how to represent it as a set, and it's called an interval. We call this an open set because this is a parenthesis. If it is this or this, we call it a closed set. In this case, this is a bracket that excludes the number here, but this bracket it include the number here. If we say A equals to 2 to 3, how to represent this in number line? 2 to 3, that is from here to here, included, but here is excluded. So consider this number line called real number. This is the middle, called 0. Here is 1, here is 2, here is minus 1, here is minus 2. There are a lot of negative number after minus 2. There are a lot of positive number after 2. So from here now, represent A as minus 2, 3. Represent B as what? Minus 1 to what? To 0. And represent C to be 0, 2. So minus 2 to 3, this is minus 2. And here is what? Assuming here is 3. This is to this point. But look at this bracket. This is an excluded bracket. Then you open it from the beginning of minus 2. Then it ends at what? At 3. But this closed bracket is included. Then you shade the end point. What of this B? To represent this B in number line, minus 1. The point start from what? The interval start from minus 1 and it end at 0. But look at this bracket. They are both excluded, parentheses. Then you start from minus 1 and end at 0, exclude the end point. C is what? 0 to 2. This is 0 to 2. This is to 2. Then you check the what? The bracket. This is a closed bracket. That is, the end point is included. From 0 to 2 is included in this case. So A is a subset of real number because it is an interval. It's not a set that is enclosed with curly braces. B is also a subset of real number. This is called an interval. C is also a subset of real number. A, B, C are called intervals because they are subsets of real number. In real number, between any 2 points, there are a lot of rational numbers and irrational numbers that are there. So we cannot use curly brackets to represent any subset of real number. So given the set A equals to minus 2, 3, given the set B equals to minus 1, 0, given the set C equals to 0, 2, the set D to be equals to 0, 2, and the set B1 equals to minus 1, 0, then B2 is equals to minus 1, 0. Then we can also represent this interval using inequality sign. This is the same thing as minus 2 is x and x is less than or equals to 3. You can also represent this as minus 1 is less than y is less than 0. You can also say 0 is less than or equals to y and y is less than 2. Here 0 is less than or equals to y is less than or equals to 2. Minus 1 is less or equals to x is strictly less than 0. Here minus 1 is less or equals to x is less or equals to 0. So from here, in either of the case given to represent in number line, assuming you are given minus 2 is less than x less or equals to 3 to represent in number line, the first thing is to draw the number line. Here is minus infinity. Is to draw the number line minus infinity and here is 0. Remember that infinity is not a number. It's a numbers that are bigger numbers. So in this case, here is 0, here is positive number. These are positive numbers, while this side are negative numbers. So where is minus 2? This is minus 2. Where is 3? 3 is at this side. Then you check strictly less than, it means it excluded minus 2. And it end at A is what? From minus 2 to 3 included. This is how to draw it in number line. What of B? B is what? From minus 1. This is minus 1. This from minus 1 excluded to 0 excluded. This is B. This is A. This is B. What of C? C start from 0. C start from 0 and it end at 2. Here is 0 minus infinity. Here is positive infinity. 2 plus 1 plus 2. So in this case, what of C? C start from 0 included and end at what? 2 excluded. 2 excluded. What of D? D start from 0 included and end at 2 included. What of B1? B1 start from minus, it start from minus 1 and it end at 0 excluded. B2 start from So B2 start from minus 1 included and end at 0 included. That is how to represent it in number line. If you are given it like this, you can do the same thing as what? Minus 1 less or equals to x less or equals to 0. The question says write the following in set notation. See real line, it means there is an interval 0 to 10. Because I did not shade this, it's going to be using excluded bracket. That means that what? 0 is less than x and x is less than 10. In this case, this is 0 to 10. Because they shade this, we put the included bracket and excluded bracket. Here, but 0 is strictly less than x is less or equals to 10. Here, we have minus 2, 5 included because they shade the portion here. That means what? Minus 2 is less or equals to L is less or equals to 5. So this is how these intervals look like. Draw the following intervals. 0 is less than x is less than 1. So to draw A, this is what? Assuming here is what? here is 0, here is positive infinity, and here is minus infinity, and we have 1 here. So this is how the set A look like, from 0 to 1 excluded. Then is how to draw B. B is from what? Is from 1 to 2 included these two here. So this is how B look like. B is a set 2 included. What of C? C is a set from -4 included to 5 excluded. So what of D? D is a what? Is a positive number exclude 0 to a positive infinity. It's a natural number. So that means D is a natural number. What of E? E is a number that what? 0 and go to minus infinity. What of F? Can we have a number that is bigger than 0 and the number to be less or equals to 0? Of course, there is no number like that. This is going to be an empty set because there's no way we have a number that number is bigger than 0. F is an empty set because we don't have a number that is bigger than 0. At the same time, it's less or equals to 0. Thanks for watching. In the next video, we are going to start sets, operation on sets, to statement of sets, and Venn diagram.